Creatures of the Night, it's your girl Tati. This is a review for episode 52 of Ring of Honor, meaning I've been covering this thing for a whole year since the very first episode, and honestly, there has been so much change. Actually, I think the biggest amount of change has actually been made since the final battle pay-per-view a few months ago. So in this past, close to 3 months with Ring of Honor, they have made a tremendous amount of change, and I can honestly say, with no problem, take your little wallet and go ahead and spend that $9.99 because it's actually been so consistently good. I am loving the direction that they're going in Ring of Honor. There's been so many times throughout this year that I've actually thought, hey, they in trouble. I don't know what's going to take for this to be a really solid show. And lately, they have been bringing it with giving us really, really great wrestling. And for me this week, I found this to be the better wrestling show out of all the wrestling that I've seen so far this week. They have been making a lot of changes, and I think it's time that people started noticing how great Ring of Honor is. First match of the night was with Taya Valkyrie versus Sussy Love. This is still a round one match in the women's TV title tournament. And I have to say, man, every single match in the TV title tournament has been lovely so far. So this is the second night of the tournament. And this night, I think, had the better matches than the first night. These ladies are hungry. They are absolutely killing it. Taya Valkyrie obviously takes the win. I did kind of not like the fact that they were bringing in girls that were making their debut into Ring of Honor during this tournament. But I do think that they did that so that they can have few more people in the tournament so that it can last a little bit longer. And you know what? It is what it is with that. And they've been actually knocking it out of the park with these matches. No squash matches in these tournaments at all. They've been giving us some lengthy matches with these girls so that we can also see some of these girls who are debuting in Ring of Honor doing their thing, and also having these girls that are advancing in the tournament really, really shine. So I really did enjoy that. Taya Valkyrie does take the win. She's going to be facing Queen Aminata in the second round of the tournament, and I'm worried because I'm kind of looking at this whole thing that Taya Valkyrie may win the entire tournament, which means Queen Aminata will definitely have to lose the round 2 match. Now after this, we do have Lee Johnson versus Sonico. My first time seeing Sonico in the ring. He did pretty well. He had a little interesting gear. I did really enjoy his mask. First time in Ring of Honor going against Lee Johnson. Lee Johnson wins, and I have to say, Lee Johnson, it's not that he's not talented. He's just really boring. There's no personality. There's nothing to make him stand out in comparison to other people on this roster. If they want to put a title on him, they have to do something about this lack of personality thing. It's not going to get him very, very far. There's just not a big connection with Lee Johnson and the crowd. Sometimes he does great moves or whatnot, but you want to connect with the crowd, and it's going to take some personality, some type of character to be able to do that. And honestly, he has none. Up next, we have another TV tournament match. We have Belle Velvet versus Sandra Moon. Holy moly, if it wasn't for the main event, this would have absolutely been match of the night. These girls tore it the fuck up. I really did enjoy this. Sandra Moon, I was not familiar with her prior to this match, and now I just want to see her against Tony Khan. Bring her back. She is so good. I was not expecting to see a 4-star match. I really wasn't. I honestly thought that probably would have given her 5 minutes in the ring and then Red Velvet was going to win. This was, I want to say, more than 10 minutes, and these girls gave it their all. It's really, really unfortunate how on AEW TV, Red Velvet would have lost a match in 5 minutes and really wouldn't get a chance to show how great she is. And then here she is having one of the best matches, female matches that I've seen so far this year. Yeah, it's only February, but they did so great. And Sandra Moon, if she's on the roster, I do think that with her moveset, she's going to offer something really, really special. And looking at her, I would Love to see her in the ring with several of these girls in AEW, including Willow Nightingale. I think those two girls would have something really special in the ring. I would love to see. But Red Velvet brought her absolute A+ game into this match and taking the win. I do think that in terms of the tournament, so far for round one, the wins are very predictable. However, the fact that they've actually been able to give these girls like 10+ minutes to do their thing in the ring has actually been the most surprising thing. And that's what they need to do more often. For them to have had, I want to say, 5 women's matches in one show, and each match was absolutely amazing. They would never do something like this on a Rampage, not on a Dynamite or a Collision. And honestly, with seeing how well these girls performed tonight, this is something that they probably should do in the future, even on Dynamite or Rampage. I would love to see a card with just all women's matches. These girls knocked out the park. Yes, Red Velvet took the win. After this, we did have a strange little comedy match with Brandon Cutler and Danhausen. Danhausen comes out as the very nice Danhausen with a jar of teeth. What's new? We had Cole Cabana on the side of Brandon Cutler, and once I seen this fool out there, I was just like, this is just gonna be one of those comedy things. And you know what? I don't mind this whole silly shit in wrestling. However, Danhausen has been complaining on social media about how he would, like to wrestle more. He wants to be on TV. He wants to have championships. He wants to be taken seriously. And this is not the way for you to take Danhausen seriously. I don't mind having all the fun and laughing and whatnot, but they just focus a little too much on comedy and less on wrestling. And it's not that great. It's skippable, but if you want to see these two guys acting a fool, go ahead and watch the match. Danhausen takes the win after cursing, Brandon Cutler. And then, you know what? It is what it is. But if they want to continue to put if you want to put Danhausen on Ring of Honor, last time Danhausen went to Ring of Honor was like 2002, I want to say. They're going to have to do a lot better with him. He can make us laugh, but he can also possibly be a champion as well. I wasn't feeling this. Up next, we have Abaddon versus Viva Van, and what I think is Abaddon's best match since they've been back since their injury. This was absolutely so good. It's really hard to really rank the matches of what was best and least best. They all was so good. Viva Van, I'm very familiar with. However, the chemistry with her and Abaddon was absolutely on point. They both stayed into character throughout this match, and they really complement each other so well. And I really would love to see, Viva Van get a contract with AEW. I think she would definitely offer something really special in the ring. What I saw her do with Abaddon tonight just made me feel like, damn, I would love to see her more often. Yeah, we've seen her, do some matches here and there with Ring of Honor AEW, but man, she is so talented. Abaddon as well. Abaddon takes the win with a Black Dahlia. This episode for sure is absolutely worth the watch. Not just me talking about it. I really do feel like you can really see the improvement in what the girls are doing. Not just that, but you can see the difference between the match quality that you're getting with the girls on Ring of Honor in comparison to, sorry to say it, Toni Storm. I love you, girl. Love your character. You're the hottest thing in terms of, a character in AEW, probably wrestling in general. But the matches it does not compare to what we've been seeing in Ring of Honor these past few months or whatever with the girls over there. So sorry, it is what it is. They're just doing so much better. Yes, Abaddon takes the win, and she's going to be facing Mercedes Martinez in the round 2 of the TV title tournament. And honestly, I don't think she's going to make it past that, but it's going to be a great match nonetheless. We'll see who wins. Now after this, we do have Ethan Page versus Anthony Henry. Ethan Page, they're building him to go for the TV title. And let me say this. Our boy Kyle Fletcher is dealing with some visa issues. I don't know what's going to happen. Obviously, Kyle Fletcher is Australian. There's some visa issues, so this is why we have not seen him. and I don't know how long it's going to be before we do see him. We do get a promo from Ethan Page, who's basically saying, well, you've been gone for all this time, don't know how much longer you're going to be gone, but until then, I'm going to be the one who's holding you down over here in Ring of Honor. And would I say that to be true? I'll say this. He started off that promo weak as fuck, and then he really picked up the intensity in that promo. But in the match, Anthony Henry carried him the whole fucking way. I don't know what it is about Ethan Page and what it's going to take, but I think the best case scenario for him right now is for him to be a heel or somewhat of a tweener or whatnot until he gets that title. I don't know what it's going to take. He just doesn't have that interesting thing about him to take him really, really far. I think he's great in the ring. He's decent, but he needs so much more. I think he needs to be repackaged. Anthony Henry does not win, and honestly, this is one of those times where it's just like, I'd rather saw him win than Ethan Page. He needs some help. Up next, we still have our round 1 match in the TV title tournament. We have Billie Starkz versus Robyn Renegade. In my opinion, Robyn Renegade absolutely did so much better in this match than Billie. I don't want to be nitpicky, but we're at the point where this is a tournament. You either come in ready or you just don't come in at all. I know that Billie Starkz is definitely one of the favorites to win here. However, she is still very inexperienced. She's learned a lot, though, since she's been in Ring of Honor. That I can definitely attest to. But I didn't really feel like this was a really great showcase for her in terms of this tournament. Robyn absolutely looked much better than her in the ring. She performed so much better. She has that attitude that you should bring into the ring. Both these girls, in my opinion, I would look at them as heels. Yes, Billie Starkz is one of the favorites, but she's running around with Athena, and she does have that heel energy too. However, she is in the ring and she's making a lot of mistakes, and a lot of the ones that she makes often, she does this middle ropes tope suicida that she just messes up every single time that she does it, and for whatever reason she continues to bring that into the ring, and I'm just like, girl, it's never worked for you. Stop doing it. Not only has she been trying to make this suicida work for her, she tried it 3 times tonight, and every single time she messed it up. The 3rd time was absolutely just dreadful, and it's just like, girl, I love you, but we gotta move on. If it's not working, it's just not working. Robyn looked so much better than her, and right at the end, Billie Starkz takes the win with a submission. Not sure what it's called, but it looked absolutely amazing, and that sort of, kind of, maybe not that quite, redeemed herself with that submission. But moving forward, she's going to be going against who's she going against next week? Diamante for the 2nd round. And Diamante's not going to be playing games with you, girl. You're going to have to get it together. Up next, we had a Fatal 4-Way. We had Komander, AR Fox, Exodus Prime, and Matt Sydal. So good. Best match in terms of the men's. Really enjoyed this. This was Exodus Prime debut in Ring of Honor, and I think he did a really great job. AR Fox absolutely killed it. Matt Sydal always kills it, and I really did enjoy this. And I was enjoying it up until Komander take the win. And I'm just gonna say this: what's in this Komander Kool-Aid that AEW's on? Like 2 weeks ago, Komander won another 4-way. And he participated like the least in that match, and he won. And then here we go once again. I don't think he even had the best performance in this match. Even Exodus Prime being the one debuting here, I felt like we saw more of him in the ring than in Komander. And Komander takes this win. AR Fox freaking, he wiped the floor with everybody in this match. I just don't understand what it is about Komander that they just keep pushing him out there to have these wins when he really shouldn't. If y'all gonna have him win, he should at least be outperforming everyone. And this is once again another time that he's in the ring where he is not outperforming anyone and takes the win. I like him, but man, I'm annoyed. Main event time, our minion overlord Athena versus Nyla Rose in a 2 out of 3 falls table match. So every fall will count if the opponent goes through a table. And I kid you not, Athena went through a table in less than 2 minutes. Like, I thought they were like kind of teasing us with that table real close by. And no, less than 2 minutes, she's already going through the table. Before the second fall, she just seemed to be really defeated, really tired or whatnot. And I do think that's her playing into how they wanted the crowd to feel about this match. They wanted us to think that she went through the table the first time. So she's obviously feeling defeated already. And she ends up getting Nyla through the table, for the second fall, which is not surprising. It's usually like that. One gets the first one, then the next one gets the next one. And it's all down to that third one to add the suspense to the match. Now, the second fall wasn't her necessarily putting her through the table. It was a more of her falling into the table from the outside rope. So Nyla ends up falling onto the table. So that obviously still counts as a fall. Now that third and last one was a really great one. Athena ends up, getting her through the table. And it was so funny to see that these two girls, they have this little beef with each other this past, month or so, maybe a little bit more. And I've absolutely loved the storyline. I really do. And I just kept thinking, whatever happens, so however this ends, which obviously Athena's going to win, they need to continue the storyline. I don't see anyone else really having that strong personality like Nyla that's been, really pushing and kicking. Even when Athena was gone, she was, holding it down for a little bit. And I did enjoy Nyla doing that. She goes through this table and I'm just like, please, let this continue. Let this continue. Whatever happens, moving forward, I don't mind seeing another match with these two. I don't mind seeing the storyline continue in some capacity. I don't know how. But while we have Athena clutching onto the title, happy that she ends up taking the win here. Here is Nyla just leaning up against the ring, laughing. She is laughing about it. And just seeing that made me feel good because I was like, okay, this looks like she's going to get hers at some point, and I would not be mad at it. Look, this was the best match of the night. I really did enjoy the performance. The girls have been absolutely killing it. If you want to see really great wrestling, I do think that Ring of Honor has been having solid shows. Tonight they didn't really focus much on backstage interviews and whatnot, and that's okay because pretty much all the matches were solid here. With the exception of one of them. But everything else has been absolutely worth the watch. This past few weeks has been so good, you guys. I really do think that it's a great time to be tuning into Ring of Honor. I'm seeing on social media more and more people are talking about Ring of Honor, and that's great. They deserve the recognition. They have definitely been putting the work. Whoever it is that's working over there, that's making things so much better, it can't be you, Tony Khan, because then that would reflect on AEW as well. But whatever's going on in Ring of Honor, whoever's making these changes, I absolutely love it. And we had some really amazing wrestling, so go ahead and check it out if you did not watch. Guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back tomorrow with Rampage. Bye.